I hope you have a current great evening and I hope you have a wonderful late evening also. So, I hope everyone is present. I hope everyone has their pen, paper, coffee, water, tea, whatever is required to be attentive, to learn as much of you know education that we are here to provide you. Remember, it is today's third live streaming session. So you guys and girls, men and beautiful women are clearly aware that we just don't provide you with analysis. We just don't provide you with trading opportunities, hot stocks. We also provide you with trading education, and that takes place currently, as you can see, when the market has closed, right? When the Indian share market has closed, right now, as you can see, we are, the market is done and dusted for today. Today being Monday, the first day of the week. So, a couple of things have happened in the markets, but, anyways, once the market closes, our attention shifts from what the market has done to trading education. You heard that right. But before we get started, a quick, make sure that people can hear me well. I hope I'm audible. I hope there is no issues of voice or any kind of technical glitch that I am facing or any one of you are facing. If so, please do let me know. All right. And another thing, a lot of people who are coming to this live webinar have been informing that Harsh, you speak well, but my English is not good. So, I mean, I don't understand well in English. Sorry to put it that way, but आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड इंग्लिश वेल सो कैन यू टॉक इन हिंदी। जी हाँ दोस्तों, मैं हिंदी में भी अच्छी तरह से बात कर सकता हूँ। अगर आपको लगता है कि आपकी हिंदी कमज़ोर है, आपकी इंग्लिश कमज़ोर है और आप चाहते हो कि मैं हिंदी में भी बात करूँ, तो आप कमेंट बॉक्स, आप नीचे जो चैट बॉक्स है, आप वो पे टाइप वहाँ पे टाइप करके आप बताइए कि हर्ष प्लीज टॉक इन हिंदी ऑल्सो, या यू कैन टाइप टू द नंबर टू। ठीक है, उसमें आप लिख दीजिए। Again, let me reiterate. Sorry, I have a cold, with weather changing and the onset of winter, people are having viral. So I have been, I've fallen into the same, viral effect, if you want to say. But anyway, so as I was mentioning, for people who want me to continue in English, can press one, and जिनको जो चाहते हैं कि मैं हिंदी में भी बात करूं, जिनकी इंग्लिश थोड़ी कमज़ोर है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, मैं हिंदी में भी अच्छी तरह से बात कर पाऊंगा। तो आप कमेंट बॉक्स में लिख सकते हैं टू टू फॉर हिंदी। ठीक है, नाउ दैट वी हैव टेकन केयर ऑफ दैट, make sure that you have your water intake and fluids. Today I'm going to have coffee because of my running nose and a little sore throat. I want to make sure that I'm having coffee. All right. So a lot of things have happened into the market. Sophia has arrived. Thank you, Sophia, for joining us. It is always a pleasure having you on board. With Sophia being on board, Harsh has learning to fear. Correct. With Sophia on board, the live streaming session, Harsh has learning to fear. So a lot of things have happened into the financial, into the current market conditions. There was a good amount of bullish sentiment, as you could see today, based on the IT sector performing. We have discussed a lot in the first and the second session, right? The first and the second sessions that we had today. Remember, our live trading sessions happen 5 days a week, right? From Monday till Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I make sure to give you good content, to give you the real trading strategies 3 times. All right. So we are here. I make sure to come and provide you with this content 3 times a day. The first happens once the market opens. The second happens around 1 hour before the market closes. And the third one, as you can see right now, is the current one where once the market has closed for the day, we shift our focus from providing you opportunities, because now we cannot provide you with trading opportunities in the market, correct? The market is closed. So we will talk about the technical aspect, the education based on technical analysis, and that is where I specialize. For any one of you out there who still is trying to figure out who Harsh is, so let me introduce myself quickly. My name is Harsh. I'm associated with the financial markets for almost 8 years. All right. So for 8 years, I have been associated with the financial markets. I am more of a technical trader. I specialize in trading forex. You heard that right. I specialize in trading forex, commodities such as gold, silver. I even trade the US indices, right? We have the S&P 500, the Dow Jones 30, the Nasdaq 100. I am more of a technical trader who specializes in supply demand, um, order flow analysis, trend analysis, price action, swing analysis, Fibonacci, and the list goes on. So there is a lot of technicalities that I look into when I, look for when I do my analysis. So here at Dolphin Markets, we make sure to provide you with the best content available in terms of analysis. What is currently happening in the markets? What are the factors? We connect the dots for you. Sorry, Second, we provide you with trading opportunities. That's correct. We provide you with hot stocks. I mean, a lot of you must be aware by now that our main motive for coming up with these live trading sessions is to provide you with hot stocks, trading opportunities that can make you money where in the Indian stock market, right? In the Indian share market. And third session that we take place is basically focused on the technical aspect in terms of educating the masses, educating you beautiful people in terms of what is technical analysis and the different forms of technical analysis. I hope people are getting a good understanding of how the entire structure of the live streaming works, correct? We want to make sure that we can provide you with real time analysis in terms of strategies that we provide to you, the hot stocks, and seeing on a consistent basis that since the last 1 month, as you can read the title of today's YouTube live streaming video, it's a 97 percentile profitability, right, in almost a month and a couple of days above, so a month and a half. So as you can see, we are here to prove, to showcase our potential of making money in the Indian share market. But our real forte, our real specialty lies in performing in the forex and the gold markets. All right. So I hope everyone is clear. We had a bullish sentiment for today. Let me quickly give you a little snapshot in terms of how the market sentiments are still portraying themselves to be. As you can, as you are aware, in terms of there is still bearish sentiment overall. Yes, today, as you can see, the current candle has been bullish, and there has been, the uplift, the optimism in the masses of people saying that yes, now the market has hopefully, concluded its bearish momentum, and now there is a possibility for the onset of bullish sentiment. Correct. So, with all this said, we still, based on the analytics, remember, we want to connect as many dots as possible. We don't talk about one factor or one incident to to provide a decision. We have to connect as many dots as possible to get the overall picture, right? We have to look at it from different angles. The more different angles we are able to understand, or do our analysis, the better the picture, right? Still, having said, even though today was bullish, we still have a significant bearish sentiment still going on, right? So the Nifty 50 currently still having a bearish sentiment, but nonetheless, the market is closed for today. Let's shift our focus to technical analysis. I hope everyone is ready. I hope everyone is focused, all right? Because when we are starting technical analysis, we have to make sure what? That we are completely focused, all right? So let's get started. Looking at a quick glance as to what exactly we are trying to bring to the table. Always bear in mind that we are not taking a trade or two trades or three trades and letting you know that we have achieved 97 profitability. We are consistent, all right? Right from 18th of September till 23rd. So a couple of days back, these are the trades that have been squared off. These are the current, these have been the trading strategies, the hot stocks that have been provided to you and have been closed at a profit. All right, looking at all the way from 18th of September till 23rd of October, within a span of around 27 trade ideas. All right, I hope everyone can see my screen. Within a span of 27 trade ideas, we are sitting at a 97 profitability. So please bear in mind, we are not like, one shot profit makers where we just trade one stock and we have made 97. No, we have traded consistently, right? Achieving an average of 6, 2, 5, 10, 8. So you get the point. An average of 5% is what we are trying to achieve. And we have been consistent by achieving 97 profitability in a month and a half. So I want you, everyone, to be aware of the potential that we bring. All right, enough of all the Excel sheets and all. Let's start about what is technical analysis. Now, a lot of people come to me and they ask, Harsh, we love the way you talk, but we want you to, talk more about technical analysis. So this is exactly where I'm going to be talking about technical analysis. What is technical analysis? Remember, today's session is going to be based mainly on the initial basics. All right. Remember, we have structured our live streaming sessions in such a way that people from all walks of life, people of all sorts of experiences can understand. All right. So today is the day where for people who are new to the markets, who are still trying to learn a lot about what the financial markets are, what technical analysis is, today is your day, right? So I'm happy that most of you who are attending will get an entire gist. We cover the basics on the first day of the week. We will cover the intermediary strategies, which will be on the second day. We will talk about the advanced strategies, which will be discussed on the third day, on Wednesday. So please make sure you keep attending all our live streaming sessions, right? The first two live streaming sessions are focused mainly on providing you with trading opportunities and to also showcase our confidence and our performance and maintaining. Remember, when I've shown you these Excel sheets where we are attaining a 97 profitability, we want to show you individually as and how we take. Remember, this is a clear history of what we have performed, and this keeps getting updated, right? We have certain trades that are currently running, but at the same time, we have trades that have been closed, squared off, correct? So we are sitting at a 97. This is where we want to showcase our power. We want to showcase our, the capability that we can bring to you, all right? And once that is done, then we focus on our technical education, right? Education pertaining to technical analysis. So, all right, quickly, let's get a quick glance as to what is technical and what is fundamental. I'm pretty much sure that a lot of you beautiful people are aware of, financial statements, earning reports, so on and so forth. Let me quickly show you the exactly what I'm trying to, like for example, let us take a company called as ICICI. I hope everyone is aware of this particular company, ICICI Bank, correct? Now, if you zoom down and if you see at all the quarterly results, you have a lot of number crunching. It shows, the revenue, the interest, the expenses. You can keep reading, on the left hand side, you have all the categories that have been mentioned, correct? Now, based on the meaning of that particular category, whether it is revenue, whether it is interest, expenses, so these are numbers, right? So at the end, fundamental analysis is basically, revolving around numbers, how the numbers have been performing. Are they, performing better than expected, or are they overperforming or underperforming? I hope everyone is clear. Then we have profit loss statements where again you have a lot of number crunchings to do. So this is basically fundamental analysis, which takes into factor the numbers in terms of bank statements, earning reports, profit loss statements, so on and so forth. But when we talk about technical analysis, right? Technical analysis, as you can see from the paragraph, technical analysis is a method of evaluating statistical trends in the trading activity. So technical analysis is based on charts. I hope everyone can see my screen. So charts are nothing but data where the price have been plotted in a particular manner. So these are called as candlesticks, right? In China, we call them as Caitian. So Caitian in China is candles in English, all right? So these are candlesticks with each candle having an open, a close, a high. I hope people can see the wick, right? Let me just give you a quick meaning of what a candle is. A candle that is green is basically having bullish sentiment, and a candle that is red is having bearish sentiment. I hope people can understand. So a candle which is green has an open and a close higher. Now you can see these two wicks, correct? These are like called wicks. As you know, a candle has a wick which you burn, right, for the candle to lit up. So these are wicks. These basically denote how much price has moved above or below, right, for that particular time period. So these are wicks, all right, and denoted by these lines. I hope people are able to understand. Now let's get back to the PPT. So fundamental, as I've explained, fundamental analysis takes into consideration balance sheet, statements, profit and loss. You get the point, right? So we use numbers and we try to determine how the numbers are performing based on the past data, based on the last quarter, based on the last semi-annual report, based on the last annual report, so on and so forth. But when it comes to technical analysis, the entire crux of technical analysis lies in understanding what are the charts showing. So charts are these, and then we expect that if price has reacted in the past, it should react again in the future. So what I'm trying to say is, if we have an area of interest where prices have reacted to, so let me just find out to show you a better clear example. I hope everyone can see my screen, correct? So let me give you a clear understanding of what technical analysis is. As you can see the box that is mentioned, right? Please follow the arrow that I am showing so it's easier for you to understand. Technical analysis in a nutshell, or the basic understanding of what technical analysis is. If price has reacted in the past, once price comes back, there is higher probability for price to react. So technical analysis is basically understanding past data to speculate future. All right. So because on the basis that if price reacted in a specific way in the past, it should react the same way in the future. I hope people are getting an understanding. I have shown you the definition on the PowerPoint. I hope for people who are still wanting to have a quick look at what the definition of technical analysis is, it is shown on your screen. All right. But once you want to understand, remember, when I try to explain, I try to explain from a practical perspective, right? The way I have learned as a student, because even I was a student at some point, right? I wasn't born an analyst, I wasn't born as a trader. So it's very important, and I understand from where people are coming, what questions they might have in their brains. So I am trying to take that in that other step, that extra effort to provide you with the right consensus. All right, I hope people are understanding, I hope people are learning, I hope people are having a good time. All right. So as you go back to TradingView, it is understanding past data to speculate. Speculate means to to pre-plan, right? To speculate future on the basis that if price reacted in a specific way in the past, it should react the same way in the future, and that is exactly what I'm trying to show. If prices have reacted in the past in a specific way, the moment price comes back to that area of interest, prices should again react. So that is technical analysis in a nutshell. All right. I hope people are understanding. I hope people are understanding. All right. If yes, put a thumbs up. All right. Put a thumbs up in the comment box. All right. Let's get back to the PPT. So as you can see, this is the definition of technical analysis. Now, please understand that these are key takeaways, which I've already explained to you on TradingView, right? We are basically using price trends and patterns and thereby trying to identify potential, trading opportunities. And as I had already mentioned, technical analysis believe that past trading activity, can be a valuable indicator of a future price movement. All right. And as I had mentioned, where fundamental analysis focuses on the company's financial data, technical analysis focuses on historical price patterns, right? That is exactly what I had showcased you in terms of depicting, how prices are reacting to certain specific points in the past. All right, I hope people are understanding. All right, good. Let's get to the next point. So there are various different forms of technical analysis, right? I mean, if you go and type technical analysis, you will find thousands of web pages, trying to provide you with all sorts of analysis, right? Now, what is right, what is wrong? The content available to an individual is so massive that people, they tend to, they get confused because there is so much of option. But people have to understand that it is better to, start from the basics. The moment you start from the basics, you can work your way up towards, improving and upgrading your knowledge, right, when it comes to technical analysis. So let's start with some basic technical analysis. As you can see, we have got a simple trend line. I hope everyone is aware what a trend line is, right? A line that is able to connect as many price points as possible, right? Without cutting them. It's basically a trend line. So let us have a quick look at how it looks on TradingView. Let us put, for example, let us type maybe Tata. All right, TCS. So we are looking at it from a technical perspective. All right, I hope people are able to understand. I hope people are, I'm trying to keep it as simple and as methodical as possible, for easy understanding. So a trend line, the more prices are being able to connect, the more better a trend line. Let me change the color to a darker color. I hope people can see the line. All right. So this is the more times a price can test, right? So this is basically called as a trend line. I hope people are able to understand. The more number of points, please try to make sure that prices are not cutting the candles, right? We want to make sure that price is respecting, right? Now, when the price will come exactly to the trend line, remember, in a hypothetical scenario such as examples, right? Let me go back to the PowerPoint. You can see the way. Remember, all these examples that you are seeing on your screen on the PowerPoint are practical examples, right? These are not hypothetical. These are real markets. As you can see here, we have mentioned gold, right? Remember, we do talk about the Indian share market, and our first two live analyses are mainly based on showcasing the power of us providing you performance in the Indian share market. But when the third live session starts, remember there are other markets which are running 24 by 5. So gold market is one of those, right? So that is why I've taken the example of gold. And look how perfectly the trend line functions, right? The more number of touches, the stronger the probability for prices to hold the trend line. I hope everyone is understanding. Let's go to the next one. We have a downtrend, right? Similarly, it's a same trend line, but instead of a bull trend line, it's a bear trend line, correct? If you want to have a quick look at an example of a bear trend line, let's go and figure out. Let me give you a clear example. As you can see over here, we have prices going down. So this is where we have again called as a trend line, but it's a bear trend line because prices are going lower, correct? These are basic but very important, forms of technical analysis. People are like, we want to learn the most advanced technical analysis. And I'm like, sure, but are you aware of the basics? And they'll be like, no. But understand, even if a building is constructed, the maximum amount of time that is, spent in construction of a building is not in the building itself, but in the foundation of on top of which the building is made. So the foundation has to be strong, correct? So I hope people are able to understand. These are trend lines. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Now we're going to talk about The other alternative of a trend line. Uh, but yes, so the market can move only in three directions, correct? Up, down, and sideways. So if you have a trend line which is, inclining towards the positive ratio, it is a bull trend. If you have a trend line which is, deteriorating or basically in the downward plane, it is bear. And if it's going sideways, it is called as sideways. All right. Now, in place of a trend line, if we have a trend line and if we duplicate this trend line and put another trend line, so it's called as a channel, correct? It's nothing but two identical trend lines put against each other. All right. So as you can see, prices have been perfectly, respecting the trend line. Will trend line hold forever? Not at all. Sophia is writing, I am here. Good morning, Sophia. Good evening, Sophia. I hope you're having a great day. And thank you for being a part of this vibrant community. All right. So, again, talking about trend lines, we talked about trend lines, but now we're going to talk about channels, right? It's a channel, it's not Chanel. Okay. For people who are like fashionistic, it's not Chanel, it's channel. All right. So, channel is basically it's a trend line which is identical. So two identical trend lines, correct? So the price generally plays around those trend lines. So here, let us see some examples on TradingView. Like I had drawn this particular trend line, if I duplicate it, correct? This is called as a channel, right? Let me just write it. So it's called as channel. Similarly, if I had to draw the other way around, in places of, so this is a bear channel. Let me draw a bull channel, all right? So if you're going to connect as many dots as possible, this is something how it looks like. And if I duplicate the line and I put it like this is called as a channel, where you can clearly see that once prices hold, the holding, so they react to the opposite side, that holding, So what I'm trying to say, a trend line is a singular line, and then you have a channel. A channel is where it's identical trend lines against each other, more like a path, all right? And prices make sure they react, right? So they will always stick between the channel. Mr. Lee is right. Good. Hello. Good evening, Mr. Lee. I hope you had a great evening, a great day, and I hope you are having a great evening, right? So looking forward to tonight's sharing. Thank you, Mr. Lee. Your words of encouragement, give me confidence in providing you with more valuable information. All right. So I hope people are clear about what a trend line is and what a channel is, right? Since the channel is inclining towards the upside, it's called as a bull. So again, you have either a bull trend line or a bull channel, or you have a bear trend line and a bear channel. I hope that is correct, Sophia. So an uptrend channel. Now remember, these are basic technical, tools used for analyzing the market, but these are, the basis of how you will build upon your technical analysis. All right. So today we are starting with the foundation blocks. All right. Coming back to the PPT, let us have a look at what else do we have in our content. So this is an upward channel or a bull channel. Similarly, you have a downtrend channel or a bear channel. All right. I hope I have shown you examples, correct? Then we have again sideways. Since the market can only move in three directions, either either an uptrend or a downtrend or sideways, correct? So even in terms of trend lines and channels, we can only have an uptrend channel or a bull channel, a downtrend channel, a bear channel, or sideways. Now, like I had mentioned, will prices continue forever? Will the trend line or the channel hold price forever? No. The markets are dynamic. The markets keep changing characters, right? The market is moody. The market is always moving. It is not, stagnant. So when you look at certain trend lines that are holding, there will come a point in time when the trend line will break. We call it as breakouts. All right. So breakouts are nothing but The moment the price closes outside a trend line, it is called as the trend line has price has broken outside the trend line. So it's a breakout, right? And generally this is the second form of analysis which people use to look for trading opportunities, because now people are like, since the trend line was holding price, but now since it is taken out the trend line, there is higher probability for prices to reverse, correct? And that is how you can clearly see based on the charts that I have shown you, correct? If you want to look at trading view, let us look at some other example. um, Come on, guys, you can be more active, right? Girls and guys, I know you can be more active, but so keep it interactive, keep typing, keep asking me questions. Please be aware that this particular session that we are having is mainly based towards improving your education from in terms of technical analysis, right? The market is closed, so if you are here for hot stocks, I'm sorry to let you down, but the market is closed, so there are no trading opportunities in the Indian share market, right? We are talking about trading education. Let us look at some other example. Okay, let's look at Infosys, right? So Infosys, in terms of providing you with technical analysis, what exactly is a breakout? So as you could clearly see, prices had gone up and they started to go down, right? So as we can see, we can draw a trend line. So for people, again, be clear. When when it is a single line, it is called as a trend line, and the moment the trend line is duplicated like this, it is called as a channel. So now that prices have been holding the trend line, and the moment you notice that price has broken out, correct? So let me denote it with a circle. As you can see over here, right? When prices had closed outside, the moment the trend line is holding, it is called as the trend line is in control. But the moment price closes outside, right? That is the exact time when you call as when a breakout takes place. So once price closes beyond a trend line that has been holding prices in the past, that is when the breakout takes place. So the overall sentiment when the trend line was holding was bearish, correct? Now that the breakout has taken place, the sentiment shifts from bearish to bullish. I hope people are able to understand. And this is in its essence what a breakout is. So there are a lot of people who are support resistance traders. There are a lot of breakout traders. So this is the example of a breakout, right? Support resistance in its crux, in its basic essence means that prices are holding a trend line, correct? As I had already shown you, prices are holding, prices are holding. Every time price tests the trend line, prices are holding. But the moment price comes to a level which prices have broken in terms of taking out this particular trend line, that is when a breakout takes place. I hope people are understanding. I hope people are able to understand. Remember, we have people in this particular community, in this particular live streaming session, from all walks of life, from all different experience levels. So it is very important to make sure that we are focusing on all the aspects, right? And I cannot talk about all the aspects. So we have structured it, but today the main focus will be on the basic technical analysis, right? For people who are new to trading, this is very vital for you to come and be a part of this live streaming session. You will learn a lot. And for people who are already aware of these terminologies, I would still request you to keep attending them so that you can revise, you can have your revision, and you can become better. Sophia is writing false breakout or true breakout. That is correct, but these are true breakouts, right? So I get Sophia is running a little ahead. She's coming towards the advanced levels. Don't worry, Sophia. We are only talking about the standard breakouts, correct? So you're writing how to distinguish. Do not worry what a false breakout is or what a true breakout is. All right. Once you notice that prices have been holding a particular trend line, and the moment you have a clear breakout, that is when the breakout takes place. So these are called as true breakouts, right? False breakouts, we will come into it maybe at some other point in time, right? So let's get back to the PPT to understand. So true breakouts are basically when prices are holding a particular trend line and price breaks outside the trend line, indicating that the sentiment has shifted. In this particular example, we can see prices have been bearish. The moment price closes outside the bearish trend line, now it indicates sentiment shifting from bearish to bullish, correct? From down to up. Let's look at the other example. On the contrary, when prices are moving in an uptrend, and now there has been a breakout taking place, right? That is the time when the sentiment has shifted from bullish to bearish. So Sophia, let me reiterate, these all are examples of true breakout. For you to know more information about false breakout, we will cover that in our advanced trading strategies, right? Now we are just kind of looking at the basis or the basic trading strategies. We do not want to confuse everyone, right, Sophia? All right. So I hope people are understanding what an uptrend breakout looks like and what a downtrend breakout looks like. Remember, whether it's a trend line, whether it's a channel, it doesn't make any difference. Till the time the prices are holding it very good. The moment price breaks out, the sentiment shifts, right? For this particular example, the current sentiment was bullish. The moment the trend line was taken out, the sentiment shifted from bullish to bearish, from up to down, right? And that is how the prices continued lower. Now we have certain formations, right? I hope there are a lot of support resistance traders out here who talk a lot about support and resistance. I am also one of them. I do, understand the importance of this. Sophia is asking, how successful is this approach? Well, Sophia, in trading, as you are aware, everything runs on probabilities, but technical analysis, the more a trend line is holding, let me show you the example. The more the trend line holds, the stronger the trend line. The stronger the trend line, the more probability for price to continue. So if that strong trend line gets taken out, once you have this breakout taking place, it indicates that now that strong trend line is no more strong. It's a weak trend line. And that is when, you get more probability of going with the flow. So how successful is this approach? If you really have a strong trend line, see how many points we have: 1 point, 2 points, 3 points, almost 4 and 5. So 5 times the price has come to a trend line, and prices are bouncing. Every time it comes, the price bounces. But the moment the price breaks out, that shows that the strong trend line has been taken out. It's been converted to a weak trend line, correct? And that is when we expect prices. So you have to make sure. Now if you figure out that only a trend line has 2 points or 2 times when the price has bounced from the trend line and then it breaks, maybe that might be a weak trend line. We want more number of bounces of a trend line or a channel, the higher the probability, right? Now let's get back to the next formations, correct? So we were talking about support and resistance. Support and resistance are the other basis, for building up your technical analysis. Similarly to how we looked at trend lines, support and resistance are areas of interest which when drawn are acting like a support. Support is basically, you can consider to be a floor, correct? It is holding price. And on the other side, we're going to talk about resistance, right? So let us focus first on support, all right? So as you can see, this was an area of interest, right? Prices in the past have held this particular area, right? So when prices goes back and again comes back, if prices had hold in the past, we expect prices to hold in the future. And these areas, it's always an area, it can never be a line, correct? These are called as support, right? So what is a support? A support is basically an area, strong area, which price has held in the past, so we can expect it to hold in the future. do we need to consider volume when identifying a true breakout in the stock market? I would say yes, Sophia. You can use it as an as a confluence, right? What Sophia is trying to say is that we can go to indicators and type volume, right? I know this is being a little on the advanced side, but let me answer Sophia. Sophia is very regular, so I need to make sure that she understands well. So we have volume, right? So certain indicators can be used to enhance or to get higher probability, right? So Sophia is telling, do we need to consider volume? It is always better. Let me show you as an example, right? First, I hope people have understood what support is, right? The more prices bounce from a particular level, the higher the chances for that price level to hold, and that is called as support. And inversely, we have something called as resistance, right? So resistance are areas, certain areas which, since they have held in the past, we expect them to hold in the future, right? So whenever price comes to an area of interest, there is, power for that area to hold, and that is what resistance stands for, right? I hope people are able to understand. I hope I'm trying to make it as simple as possible, right? So resistance acts as a floor. It pushes the price down. Resistance acts as a ceiling, right? When you are in a room, the above the wall on top of your head is the ceiling, and on what you stand is the floor. So resistance acts as the ceiling, and the support acts as a floor, right? Now let me get back to your point, Sophia. Let me talk about, do you require volume when it comes to trend breakouts? And I would say yes, you should. It can help you get better trades, correct? Let me give you an example which has a clear depiction of what I mean. So let us talk in terms of it's an example from a practical approach, right? As you can see, the prices have been going down. I try to connect as many dots as possible, and I can see that prices have been holding this particular trend line. So prices have been quite, have been holding it once, have been holding it twice, and now we have the breakout. But now Sophia is like, but what additional factors that we can consider? So when we try to consider volume, right? Volume is nothing but it's a tool. It's an indicator that showcases, the volume between buyers and sellers. So when you have a strong influx of bull candles coming out somewhere like this, and the prices have shifted their entire focus from bearish to bullish. So let me delete the lines first, otherwise it will get too confusing, right? So when you have such, one second, when you have such you know when you use the volume indicator to understand, yes, the prices have been going down, but now the breakout has taken place. But is the breakout strong compared to the volume? No. So we wait for further action which showcase the strength by looking at these volume indicators. So again, it is subjective. Sometimes it is not always clear, but if you have the volume indicator, and if you look at the breakout, and if the volume indicator and the breakout, they match together. So in this particular example, the breakout took place over here. I hope people can see this area. Let me mark it with a circle. The breakout took place over here, but if you look at it from a volume perspective, there hasn't been much bullish volume, correct? As per you, it only starts to build up later during the coming days, and that is when you have these shootouts in terms of volume. And that is, once you have those shootouts in volume, is when prices start to go up. I hope people are able to understand this, right? I hope, Sophia, I'm able to clarify your doubt. All right, that is when the entire movement takes place. So looking at the picture of this volume, right? So high bullish volume, right? When you connect the dots, when the trend line gets taken out by a breakout, resulting in breakout traders entering the market, and when you have volume also added to it, it adds more value, right? You get more conviction, you get more higher probability. The volume is not sustained. Exactly. So you have to, there is nothing always, there is no certain way of trading. Trading also has its own, you know, positive aspects and negative, pros and cons. So, but still, if you try to use the volume indicator for breakout trades, it should, if you get the, what do you call it? If you get a green signal, if you get a confirmation from the breakout trade as well as volume, your probability of taking that trade increases, correct? I hope people are understanding. I hope, Sophia, that has resolved your query. Let's get back to the trading PowerPoint. So support and resistance. Support acts as a floor, and resistance acts as a ceiling, right? So these are depictions of support and resistance. Now, again, similar to how a trend line had breakouts or a channel had breakouts, we even have support resistance breakout, right? So when a resistance gets taken out by strong bull power, it's called as a support resistance breakout. So it's both ways. Either a resistance gets taken out by candles breaking out the resistance, or a support gets taken out, right? So we have certain examples like these, right? Let us quickly go on to the charts to quickly see if we can find out which area is an area of interest, such as this. Let me quickly mark it for you. This was an area of resistance, right? Let me just quickly write it down also. Now that the resistance has been taken out by this particular area, it's called as a support resistance breakout, right? This is the time when prices shoots in. Like Sophia had mentioned, if you even look at the volume at that time, right? So the volume was quite significant at that time compared to the previous data. So once a resistance gets taken out, right? Once a resistance gets taken out, this area of interest is where the price starts to show that now we will not go down, but we will go towards the upside. So this is basically a support resistance breakout. I hope people are able to understand. Similarly to a support resistance breakout, we even have channel breakouts, correct? So channel breakouts are nothing but similar like trend lines, channel lines, which are squeezing together, right? This is more of a squeeze and breakout. Remember, the terminologies change based on the depiction of the charts. Trend lines and channels are parallel to each other, right? They're perfect. But if they start to converge, coming closer, 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 and a breakout takes place, and like Sophia had mentioned, if volume is also adding, you have more higher probability for price to break out and continue in the opposite direction. So the prices had been consolidating and getting tighter and tighter, and they were constricting, right, to the point in time where prices broke out and the trend shifted from bearish to bullish. I hope people are able to understand, right? The other aspect that we were looking at was double tops and double bottoms, right? I mean, for people who understand, who are aware of this particular basic technical analysis strategy, it works wonders, right? But again, the markets are practical. So will you get exactly a clear depiction of what a double top or a double bottom is? Let me give you a clear example in terms of what is a double top. Once you have prices which have created a peak, and prices again create a peak and break below that peak, that is when you have double tops, right? So double tops are nothing but two mountain tops, correct? And double bottoms are when it is the opposite of double tops. So we call it as M's and W's, right? So double tops are basically, they depict the alphabet M, while double bottoms depict the alphabet W, correct? In this particular example, as you can see, this has been a double top. If prices held once, prices held twice, right? So one and two, that's how it's called as a double top, correct? The moment price breaks down, there is tendency for price to go down. Now, this is not the clearest example. Let me just show you based on the illustration in our PowerPoint, correct? So once you have a breakout of a double top, right? So you have a double top in terms of two peaks, and you have something called as the neckline. This black line, as you all can see, is called as a neckline. It is basically the base of the mountain, correct? It's the base of that particular M alphabet. The moment price breaks down, we expect prices to continue down. All right, and similar to a double top, we have something called as double bottom. I hope people are able to understand. I'm not being too quick or being too slow. If I am, please write down in the comment box like, Harsh, no, you are correct. You are teaching us very well, and I will try to adjust my pace. Now it is very important that for everyone out there, I might provide you with a lot of information out there, but if you do not put that information into use, then what is the point, correct? So I would suggest that you let me give you some homework, all right? It's very important for me to make sure that you are following my steps. Remember, it's more of a homework or task, all right? Whatever you want to consider, right? Make sure that you are, selecting three stocks, right? Any stocks of your choice, right? And we talked about what. So I want you to practice how to draw trend lines. So you select three stocks, all right, any choice of yours, and mark trend lines, all right, whether it is bull, bear, or sideways, all right. I hope people are able to understand. Mark trend lines, right? Keep practicing, draw trend lines, understand how a trend line works, and then you can even mark channels, right? Now, similar to trend lines, the channels will also be having a bull channel, a bear channel, or a sideways channel, right? So please make sure that you are able to understand. And very important, remember, the homework or the task that I'm providing you is not for me, it's for you, right? The more you practice, the better you will get. Remember, for if you want to get good in trading, you have to keep practicing more and more. The more you practice, the better you become, correct? So mark three, select any three stocks, mark trend lines, mark channels, and mark breakouts, right? As we had discussed. If you want to, let me change the word to identify, right? Identify is a better word to use, right? Identify trend lines, identify channels, identify breakouts, right? When we talked about breakouts, we are talking about, again, it's going to be only two kind of breakouts, either bull or bear. I hope people are able to understand. A bull breakout is when prices are bearish and the prices breaks upward. So it's going to shift from bearish to bullish. So that is a bull movement, correct? And bearish breakouts are when prices are being bullish and the breakout takes place towards the downside and the trend shifts from bullish to bearish, all right? Sophia's writing the teaching tonight solved the problem that had been bothering me for a long time in the stock market. I'm great and I'm happy that I could help you, Sophia. I'm trying to help each and everyone in this community who can provide me with, more response, providing me with more feedback so I can help you more, right? I see, and take this as a learning from Sophia herself. She asks question and I try my best to resolve that question and to help you out, right? So be like Sophia, keep responding, keep that interaction going on. It's going to benefit you as well as me, all right? So I hope you have identified breakouts and you can also identify support resistance, right? Identify support and resistance, and also identify double tops and bottoms, right? So I would definitely and highly suggest that each and every one of you make sure, all right, make sure that you do your homework, do it diligently. Remember, I am not a professor standing over here and who's going to keep asking you, have you done your homework? I am not that person, right? But I'm providing you with these tasks to make you more aware, because currently attending the live sessions, you might be like, wow, Harsh, you explained it so well. But once you go back home, or once you do not practice it, you might forget it, or you might make mistakes. So please, go through the live streaming session if you want to again, or go through the videos again, try to understand how, what is the trend line. You can take the help of Google also to make it more clearer for you. But I have tried my best to keep it concise and structured, starting with today's third live streaming with the basics of what technical analysis is, and trying to explain you in the simplest manner possible. So if you guys asking, I used to have a lot of trouble distinguishing between true and false breakouts in the stock market. So if you are, yes, you are learning, and that is the most important aspect of it. So try to understand when it comes to, how we can improve in terms of in terms of analyzing. And as you had clearly mentioned, if you try to use an indicator as a confluence, as to add more value in terms of more probability, so you can use volumes, and you have done a phenomenal job. You got the topic of volume, and I was able to showcase how, if a trend line is holding and a breakout takes place, and you have the volume indicator at the bottom, that signifies that there is higher probability for prices to continue up, correct? So I hope everything is clear. Please do make sure to practice whatever is mentioned down below. If you want, take a screenshot, but practice. This practice is only for your benefit, right? It's not going to help me, it's going to help you. So I hope I've given you a good understanding of what is the basics of technical analysis, what is a trend line, what is a channel, what is a breakout, what is a support, what is a resistance, what is a double top, what is a double bottom, and what are the different kinds of breakouts, right? So I hope people have understood the gist of what I'm trying to say. Please make sure to attend all our live streaming sessions, right? We have it 5 days a week, right? From Monday till Friday, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I make sure to provide you with 3 live streaming sessions every working day. The one in the morning that takes place once the market is running, the second one around 1 hour before the market closes, and the third one, which you are currently witnessing, once the market is closed. We focus more on trading education, right? Technical analysis education. So make sure to attend all our live streaming sessions right from Monday till Friday, and be attentive for all the live streaming sessions for each and every day, right? 3 times a day. So I hope you had a great understanding. I hope you had a great learning session. I hope your evening is going well, and I hope you have a great evening, right? So make sure to utilize this evening to spend time with your family members, friends, boyfriends, girlfriends, family members, children, grandchildren, and I will see you until the next session, right? The one happening tomorrow. So until then, namaste, and I will see you tomorrow. All right then. Peace out. Take care.